Hey everyone, welcome back to the Work and Dirt channel. As you can see, we have a ton of grapes to harvest today.
No, as you can see, we've harvested a ton of grapes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Well, you may or may not know, but we bought a property with a vineyard on it. And because we've never experienced winemaking or harvesting wine grapes, you're gonna see our first time doing that.
Yeah, because we're into off-roading, but this is a side venture, so
Can't complain about a little extra wine every year.
as long as it comes after my beer. All right, let's go.
Taking a moment to replace the blades on the chipper because they're getting pretty dull. And so while he's doing that, I thought it was a good opportunity to collect some grapes from our vineyard there, get like a wide sample of different bushels, and then we test the sugar content to see if they're getting ready to pick. And my dad, who's been making wine for quite some time, I don't know, probably close to 10 years, he wants to bottle it because we don't know how, we don't have time. So he's going to come help us pick as much as we can. We've got about almost 2 acres of vineyard. You can't really see the whole vineyard, but almost 2 acres of Merlot grapes. And so we'll see how those turn out. But I'm gonna test the sugar content so that way we kind of know if they're going to be ready probably next week. I tested it 4 days ago, and they need to be somewhere between 20 and 25 on this scale, and they were at like 20.5. So my dad wants them to set a little bit longer, but it's going to be a super hot weekend. It's about 98 today. The high is 98 today, and then over the weekend it's going to get up to like 105. So he's thinking that the heat is going to affect the sugar, the ripening of the grapes, and that they're going to be ready sooner. So I'll test them today, and then I'll test them again maybe not the next day but the following, to see how quickly the sugar's going up. Got our little corral gate, high-tech post, high-tech locking system. So there's all this side of the vineyard. I'm gonna test from this side. I think we'll see if we get to picking those sides, but they're not as healthy as this side, and most likely that will be plenty of grapes for us, but we'll see. I'll ask my dad, he's the expert. I've been pretty amazed at how many grapes we're getting, and we haven't tended to these at all. No water, and I don't know when the last time that they've been tended to. We mowed in between the grapevines to make it easier to pick, but I mean, look at that. Quite a bit of grapes. So just take a few. Stick them in my little thing here. We'll grab a sample throughout the whole vineyard, a few different ones, different spots. Okay, we are back at the lab now. I've got mushed up all my grapes that I collected, and got a little juice sample here. We're gonna be using this tool my dad gave me. It's called a refractometer, and you're gonna pour the liquid on here and look into the little hole, and it'll give you a measurement of what the sugar content is of whatever you added in there. So I'm excited to see what today holds versus a few days ago. This test says 21.5, where we were at 20.5 3 or 4 days ago. I don't remember. So it is going up, but we're probably not exactly where my dad wants to be. But we're gonna let the weekend, the super hot weekend, go by and see where we're at probably on Monday. Today is Friday, so getting close. We only have a few days before my dad comes to pick grapes, and we really want to get this grape crusher / destemmer working so we don't have to do it by hand. This thing came with the property, and at first we had no idea what it was for, but eventually we figured it out. I'm going to give it a good wash while Joel takes it apart to see if he can get it running.
All right, so we're really desperate to get this wine making machine up and going. So I know one of the other major issues is making sure we don't have leaks at the pump, and which is at the bottom of the grape. Well, you can't see it in the light, but this is the pump housing. It's got a brass impeller and it's aluminum, and the input shaft is right there, and I can tell the seal around the bearing is bad because there's slop, so it's definitely going to dribble some grape juice out. So I just put a bunch of silicone grease there, and because I haven't the time to restore this thing right now, and like I said, we're just trying to make use of this once a year opportunity to harvest the grapes and see if this thing can work to some degree. Okay, Ron, this bud's for you. We got the generator, and I got the cord to fit. Had to shave the prong off a little bit, you know, a little customization, and we got this thing all pressure washed. So now we're gonna turn it on, and hopefully the coil is not or the windings aren't too contaminated or corroded. So let's see if we can induce some current here. All right, we fired up the generator. Now we're gonna see if this thing doesn't explode or spark. I just guessed that it might be in the off position, being in the middle and forward and reverse or up and down. So let's see. I'm gonna stand back. Oh man, that's scary. Oh man, look at that, Ron. Make that wine, dude. Oh yeah. What?
So we're picking grapes.
Oh, you can't get me off the card. Oh. Just another day here at Working Dirt. Hey, don't eat them. We're making wine. All right, we're ready to test this operation by plugging this in and first running a bucket of water through the crusher and seeing if it just works properly and that we don't have too much of a leak down there at the propeller. Hopefully, it's just gonna drip at most. Let's see. So we're gonna fire this up.
It's gonna be loud.
It's gonna be loud. Okay. It'd help if I turned it to the gas on. Turn it on. And gas in it? Well, it is on. It was on half tank, but I'm wondering. I think.
Oh, because it's on.
Which way it's leaned? Yeah.
That's do you want a block to prop it up? Okay, fire up.
Second try. Here we go.
Plugged in.
That looks like forward. They're going in like that. Okay. All right. Good. Pour your. Let's see. Sounds like. He's got lines. These are gallon marks, right, Ron?
Yeah.
25. So it goes up to 25, 30, and 30.
Out of all
probably at the
these,
top.
you're thinking, how much do you guys bet?
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you-
all
what do you
these
think it's
grapes,
gonna
how many
fill up?
gallons are we gonna get here?
Yeah.
The grapes that we just picked.
Yep.
I
Oh,
bet,
all of them?
I bet
Just
25 gallons.
all this stuff
25.
here.
I'm guessing 20. Ron?
Shit.
I'd be at like 35.
29.
35.
35. Wow, you're optimistic.
Wow.
27.
27.
27.
All right.
All right. Let's. All right. I'm
Because
gonna
I like
fire it
them.
up.
Nobody's gonna remember my guesses, so I'm
Ready?
changing it to whatever it is.
What was your guess?
What
10,
is it?
Did you say 10 gallons? 25.
25, and I said 20.
No, I didn't say 10. I'm more optimistic than that.
Cut it. Cut it, Joel. Yeah. Coming out. Oh, Tater, Tater.
Look there. Who says country folk can't make wine? Look at that right there. I don't care who you is. That's some good wine right there. Is that a power source? We ain't using our feet either, so that's one step up for a class, huh? Check it out. Alright, we're getting the technique down. We're running the grapes back through the hopper one more time. Or several times we're running it through. Working wine, working wine! And then we're beating our hose.
All in all, it was a great harvest day. If you're curious, once my dad went home, he tested the bricks and the pH, and that was at, the bricks was at 22 and the pH was at 3.6, and that is actually a really good balance. So we're looking forward to tasting this wine probably in 2022. That's when it should be ready. And we harvested it late September in 2020. And he did get home. He measured out how much must he had. That includes the skins and the grape middles and the juice. That ended up being 55 gallons, and that pressed out to 33 gallons of wine. So I am the winner of the guesses, but I don't know what I'm winning other than maybe extra wine. He was super happy with it, so he came back I think 2 weekends later, and we harvested even more.
Oh, because he was hoping that the sugar content might have gone up
a
just
little bit, but
and from our understanding, I guess 24, 25 is like the peak of what might be
yeah,
desired.
you don't want to do more than that, because otherwise your alcohol level is too much.
Yeah. So we're still learning, as you can see.
Yeah.
But we obviously inspired Jeremy and Linnell to get on it, because now they have been out here picking and pruning all the vineyard up in probably 3/4 of the way up the hill, and there's a whole nother side of the vineyard on that side of the barn. But when we harvested that day that you saw in the video, we only picked probably 1/3 of these grapes, and it yielded that much. So we definitely know we have a lot, because when he came back again, how much we'll probably have about 60 gallons after he
We'll probably have
presses.
about 60 gallons of wine.
Yeah, and if you're curious too, from the records and from satellite photos, it looks like this vineyard is about 20 years old, and I'm guessing that's on your older side of...
Yeah, which is why they've been able to maintain and still be healthy even without anybody watering them or pruning them every season. And
Yeah,
we got lucky with that.
Yeah, to remind you, we did not do a single thing. We bought the property and they were already flourishing. I mean, this drip line, there's things disconnected, connected, but the valves don't work, so we didn't touch any of it, and it was still just growing out of control. We hope this made you thirsty and you'll grab a bottle of water instead of alcohol, remember. Thank you for watching. It helps our channel support veterans, trails, and charities each quarter. Until next time.
Pick some grapes.